male lead uses a spell that he himself created to disguise himself and the main character as bat demons, himself as a female May demon and the main character as a male Gar demon. The male lead feeds the Bat Queen some food. Inside this food is a spell that will record her memories that he needs information for to find the barrier. He also wants to know who this immortal that enchanted her, that she's so obsessed with, that she keeps taking men that arrive at her island and turning them into this man and making them her personal boy toy. He wants to know these facts too. But yes, once he calls out incantations, the spell will come to him and it will play like a video to him and the main character once they need what they need from her. Since the male lead had saved the feathered girl from the Bat Queen needs to do some other things to make up for her medicine. So she swims in her pool blood. Yes, she has a blood pool that she bathes in to keep her calm and safe and keep her stable. She also needs to find someone to sleep with, and then she makes sure that her people are drugged and they go into a hut, and inside this hut, while they're doing the do, will travel to her. Basically, she's not just still convincing herself and with someone, but everybody else's still convention will provide for her too. Like, I was not kidding. I was shocked when I was reading that. But yes, she needs these facts, and she needs to pick someone to sleep with while everybody else is sleeping with someone and helping her convention. Well, the person she picked was the main character in his disguise, and the male lead has to make up lies about the main character to keep the queen from putting her hands on him. I am not kidding. He literally says the most awful things about the main character to keep the queen's dirty hands off his man. And I thought it was hilarious. And he didn't just do it out of jealousy. He also did it because he knew the main character would not be able to do the honey pot act. He just knew it. He knew the main character would rip the queen a new one and they would reveal their disguises. So he had to lie. And I was just laughing. What happened between her and the immortal? They did not have a romance. Basically, her mother died. Her mother was the original Bat Queen. She died. The people wanted to take the throne from her and her sister. Her sister was killed trying to protect her. She rushes off the island, arrives where the immortal is. Also, the immortal has the same last name of and looks exactly like the wise gentleman, which makes my theory seem like it's correct, that there's more to the wise gentleman than legend proceeds. Like, the wise gentleman is not who he says he is, and he should not be trusted. I full on do not trust him. I think he's up to no good the more the story progresses. But yes, she lands on his island. He takes care of her. He nurtures her. He has to repeatedly tell her he's not an immortal, but she decides she's going to become an immortal to be with him, even though it goes against everything that is who she is. She's willing to risk her entire life to be with him. And he turns her down, but makes a promise with her, even though she forces him to have this promise. Which, what's up with everybody in this story? Every time someone falls in love with somebody, they go borderline obsessive, cruel, and abusive. She makes him make a promise with her that he will never be with anyone. And if he breaks that promise, she would know because the tie between them would break or disappear. And later down the line, after she leaves the island, returns back, becomes queen of the bats, she finds out he broke her promise. And the main character and male lead are completely confused because there's no story of the wise gentleman being with someone, which I think I know who the wise gentleman was with. I think it was that slave dude that became the creator of the Emily country. I think that's who he fell in love with. I am not kidding. I think it's a full-on the Heavenly Emperor and Heavenly Empress's story from Heaven and Official Blessing. I think it's kind of like that story. But yes, she finds out he broke his promise. Yes. And I am very wary, but it makes me full-on more sure my theory about the wise gentleman is correct. But also, thanks to the recordings, they also find out how to leave the island. So it's just a matter of time before they can leave the hut to go to the others. But when they try leaving the hut, they realize they can't. Either they have to wait till daybreak because the hut won't let anyone leave unless they do dual convention. And so they're like, what are we going to do? Either wait till daybreak or do dual convention. And they're both like, no, we're not going to do it until the male lead realizes because he has the Fee-Wolf demon blood inside him, he's been basically drugged. And he needs to sleep with someone or he will suffer very badly. Like, he is literally suffering. He needing pleasure. And so the main character is no force having to give him pleasure. It was such a wild scene, I can tell you that. I was like, Also, the male lead repeatedly telling the main character that he's going to pretend it's somebody else, even though he's outright yearning and wanting the main character. I just wanted to slap him around. Dude, please, just tell him how you feel. Stop pushing him away. Stop jabbing at him. Stop hurting him. Just tell him how you feel. Be truthful with it. I know you are worried about what could possibly happen, but the more you hurt him, the more you're just making your situation worse. Please. The male lead even compares the main character to the Bat Queen, and I just wanted to slap him around. I'm like, dude, just stop. You love him. You repeatedly state you love him. We find out that he fell in love with the main character before the main character even knew him. Like, he heard bad rumors about the main character, thought them true, until he saw the main character help 2 slave children who were just lying to him and tricking him to set him up to be punished because someone who helps another slave at their academy, a slave that doesn't belong to them, would be punished. And it was a setup to get him punished. And the male lead decides then and there that he's going to be the main character's best friend, that he cares for the main character. He wants to be in the main character's life, but because of the main character's status, he doesn't think he's worthy of it. He also thinks the path he chose to go down to, which we know obviously didn't choose to go down himself, that he is a traitor. He does not deserve the main character. The fact that he stabbed the main character doesn't deserve the main character. Like, he keeps making decisions for the main character, and I'm like, let him choose. He a grown man. He can choose what he wants to do. If he wants to be with you, he wants to be with you. He even criticizes the main character for doing everything the main character is doing to be with him, to take care of him, to provide with him, and he's just calling him an idiot. I'm like, honey, he loves you. It's just like in Grandmaster Demonic Convention, where the main character kept pushing the male lead away when the male lead was coming to try to help him and the first time around. And he kept pushing the male lead away, harming the male lead, even though the male lead just wanted to take him back to his sack to save his life. And he just kept pushing the man away and having the worst ideas of the man. And I'm like, no, can you two stop it? Stop being suicidal idiots. Like, please. When they return back to the others, Morning Sun, Running Snow, and Clothes, they're all arguing. Specifically, Clothes and Morning Sun. Morning Sun is very upset with Clothes. Clothes is upset with Morning Sun, especially with the Morning Sun's actions to try to save his life, risking his own life. Clothes is very upset with Morning Sun. Morning Sun does not understand why Clothes is upset with him. He wanted to do this for Clothes. Clothes shouldn't be upset with him. Like, they're just arguing. Running Snow is trying to get in between them. This pisses off Clothes, which leads to Morning Sun being upset with Clothes for treating Running Snow the way, especially physically harming Running Snow. It is a whole thing, especially when Clothes calls Running Snow a bastard, which I have an idea of why. I think there's more going on. It's not because he was a concubine's child like Morning Sun thought, but I think Running Snow must have done something to Clothes, because Clothes is very much like the male lead from Husky and his White Cat Shujin. He wouldn't treat people the way he does if there wasn't a specific reason, and I think Running Snow did something to Clothes. I think something as bad as the main character from Husky and White Cat Shujin has done to the male lead. I think it's something like that.